Hi, my name is Peter. I've been publishing books on Amazon KDP for almost 9 years, and I made over $4 million on the platform. And in this video, I want to answer the question, what I would do if I wanted to succeed on Amazon KDP without any writing experience. Step 1, I would educate myself on all the different routes I could take. So for example, I could do nonfiction, I could be doing fiction, or I could be doing low content and medium content books. So each one of these, they have their own strengths and weaknesses. Now, if you have zero experience with writing, then low and medium content books might seem like the easiest to understand. So low and medium content books can include anything like journals, coloring books, etc. So these types of books have pretty much been out of my radar since the start, because I was always convinced that higher content books were the best. But I'm more and more intrigued by lower and medium content books after seeing some amazing results from certain low and medium content publishers. Now, one argument against low and medium content books is that there's a lower barrier to entry, which means that the competition might be higher. While I see the validity of this, I also see that the barrier of entry to higher content books has shifted with the rise of AI. So more than the barrier of entry, I now looked at the importance of either being best or unique, or a combination of both. That's how we stand out in a sea of AI generated books. We're not in 2016 anymore, where even mediocre books had a chance. In this environment, readers have enough information. The books that provide the most value will be the ones that stay on top. Step 2, I would analyze myself. What are my strengths and weaknesses? What life experiences and passions do I have? When I heard the different routes I could take, which one lit me up the most? Was it low or medium content books? Or was it fiction? Or was it the nonfiction route? Am I an expert in something? And what is the purpose of me publishing a book? Is my primary purpose to make money? If so, how much? Or is my primary purpose something else, such as expert positioning or leaving a legacy? Depending on these answers to these questions, my plan would start to take form. If I have zero writing experience, I can still make high content books work. Just think of all the different famous people who had a book published under their name. So many of these books were not written by the author, but rather by a ghostwriter. So one route to take is to simply not write the books yourself, but to hire someone to write it for you. I would also put an editor in place for quality control. Someone might say, yes, but you can use ChatGPT to write it. Now, this one I would be cautious about if I didn't have any knowledge about writing, because the text from ChatGPT can be quite ineffective unless it's directed properly. So if I were to take the route of having ChatGPT assist me in writing the book myself, I would first read the book on writing well. Even if you hire a writer or an editor, reading this book will never be a bad investment of your time when you're publishing high content books. From that book, you'll, for example, discover that writing is clear thinking on paper, and that instead of using fancy or overly complex words, it's better to use simple words and structure your text in a way where it's easy to follow along and understand. Now, perhaps you chose the route of low and medium content books instead, and that's completely fine as well. They all can work if you are doing it right. Now, speaking of doing it right brings me to step number 3. Imagine how early humans learned to survive. They didn't need to figure out everything from scratch each time. So for example, think of the skills such as making fire, hunting, and finding a safe shelter. If they hadn't shared this knowledge, every new generation would have struggled, and many of them wouldn't have made it. This shared learning is what helped humans survive and grow stronger over time. In the same way, by learning from the successes and the mistakes of past publishers, we can skip all the hard lessons and reach success much faster in our own publishing journey. Now, fortunately, step number 3 will be quite easy for you to do For example, I have a free course on Skool on self-publishing. I also have some other resources that can speed up your journey even more. And all links are in the description. Otherwise, if you want to take a simple step in the right direction, simply watch this video next.